Sing me a song of a lass that is gone. Say goodbye.
Hey everyone, it's Holly and welcome to my weekly wrap-up. Yeah, I worked out today for like the first time in forever, and not even for that long because it was that exhausting, and I'm very tired now. Okay, so I've actually read 3 books, sorta, kind of, since my last weekly wrap-up. I feel like I kind of cheated at the end just to like feel the satisfaction of reading things. Or completing things, I guess. So I did in fact finish Outlander by Diana Gabaldon, or Gabaldon. How do you actually say her name? I think all authors should have pronunciation guides. I know Rick Riordan does on his website, so thank you. I appreciate it. I feel bad saying people's names wrongly. I did finally finish this book. It took me about a week to read this book. That is probably the longest it has ever taken in my life. I have always been a very fast reader. To read a book that I liked. Like, the only other book I can think of that took me this long was maybe like Overbite and Insatiable by Meg Cabot, and that was because I really didn't like those books and was like forcing myself to read them. But this I really enjoyed. Well, that's not true. I mean, I guess like Stone of Tears and stuff, but I don't count those because I'm purposely reading those slowly. I did finish this book, finally, and I gave it 4 stars. I was really conflicted on the whole like rating thing. I am going to be doing a review of this book, like a separate video review, so I'm not going to talk too much, and I think I'm going to do a spoiler discussion video too, because the things I'm like most conflicted about are spoilery. I figured I'd put my thoughts out there in that way in case you've read it and want to know more specific things. And I do own my DVD of this season 1A came this week, so I did start watching that, and I decided I am going to do a video on like the comparisons and my thoughts and all of that stuff. So that'll happen. But in general, I mean, obviously I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I can see why people absolutely love this story and love Jamie and love Claire, but I do have some issues with it. I think this is the kind of book that's hard to recommend. I think first of all, it's huge, and I feel like it's a very individual book. Like, I think some things that take place in here, some of the characters, all of that, could be very just divisive. So it's kind of the book you just have to read for yourself. In general, I think if you like romance and you don't mind like darker kind of gory things, then this book might work for you, but I'm still hesitant to recommend it because I just think it's an odd kind of book. People at work kept asking me to describe this book, and it's so hard to explain. More than girl travels back in time to 1700 Scotland, which is not very descriptive at all. I just have the dust jacket for this book, but I read this book called The Diva Code, Miss Piggy on Life, Love, and the 10,000 Idiotic Things Men Slashed Out Frogs Do. I don't know, I've had this book for a while. I bought it for $1 at the Dollar Tree, and I just figured I would read it. It's actually in my car, but as stated previously, I'm lazy and just do not want to walk outside to get it out of my car. It was like 100 pages. This book retails for $15. That's ridiculous in my opinion, but I gave it 3 stars. I don't know, it's kind of a hard book to rate. It's just like a bunch of like little blurbs. It's kind of just like a funny thing. I like the Muppets and I like Miss Piggy, so I find it humorous. I have a picture of Miss Piggy at my desk at work. It's like a glamour shot of her, and well, I don't know, I say it's a glamour shot. Other people say it looks like smut because she's like laying on the ground like this or something. And it says, it has a quote, my mom gave it to me. The quote is something like, "Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and sometimes a mistaken beholder needs to be punched in the eye." And I just think that's funny. This book is exactly what Miss Piggy is like. She's all about herself and, you know, fame and fortune and Kermit the Frog. So I don't know. I mean, it was cute. I enjoyed it. And it was an easy read, which is what I was going for after Outlander. And then I read Crossing the Line by Katie McGarry, which is a little novella. It's like the 1.1 in the Pushing the Limit series. It follows Lila, I say Lila, but I feel like it might be Lila. It's Lila. I never know how to say that. Who is Echo's like best friend in Pushing the Limits, and a guy named Lincoln. And they met at Echo's brother's funeral, and that's like not a spoiler that her brother's dead. He's dead in everything. So, and they meet and kind of form a connection, and then for like the next 2 years they send letters to each other. And so then this story happens after like a big secret gets revealed, and she gets angry at him, and then he's trying to like repair their relationship and make it romantic and all of those things. It's a ebook. That's how I read it. I've owned it for like 2 years, but it's also in, where is it? Oh, it's all the way up there. It's also, at least in my edition of Take Me On by Katie McGarry, it's in there as like a physical chunk at the end of the story. But I just read it on my Nook. I gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. It's not my favorite thing. I mean, a novella has to be pretty damn good in order to get 5 stars from me. It's a cute, fun story. I thought the like big secret thing was not as big as it could have been, but at the same time it's just a novella, so I guess you don't want something absolutely huge because you can't explore it enough. And I did like both of the characters, and it takes place over a very short period of time, but I quickly got invested in them and cared about them. And I feel about this the same way I felt about Red at Night, which was another novella by Katie McGarry, where I am completely content with the story I was given, and I don't need any more, but I would love more. I would love to be able to spend more time with these characters, get to know them more, like just like dig into them even more, especially Lincoln. And I would love like more after the story, just because, I don't know, it leaves me wanting more, but just like with Red at Night, in a good way, not in a she didn't satisfy me way, but in a I just care about these characters and their story kind of a way. So that is all I read. But I really do feel like Outlander has just taken over my reading life the last couple of weeks. So yes, if you want to talk about any of these books, or you have any questions, you've read them, liked them, disliked them, feel free to let me know. If you disliked Outlander, maybe save those thoughts for my review or discussion video. We can discuss spoilers in the discussion video comments if you want. Because I don't hear a lot of people saying they don't like it, but they must exist. So yeah, maybe save those thoughts, but feel free to leave them if you want. I don't care. So thank you so much for watching. Bye!